We are NXT.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm home.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Power Podcast. Tonight, we're going to talk about NXT. Yeah, that show that happens on Wednesday, that's usually really, really good. And you know what? They kind of found their stride again a little bit this week because it was mostly wrestling. It's crazy to have it be mostly wrestling on a wrestling show. I mean, holy crap, this is a crazy concept. The commentating was a little B-team to me, but given the situation, I'll let it slide. It made it, it really did, it just made it feel a little bit off. But, we're getting wrestling, we're getting entertainment. Let's talk about the matches. The first match was something that, I'm a fan of both performers. I was kind of really excited about. It's Velveteen Dream and Bobby Fish. I mean, this is Velveteen Dream continues working his way through the upper card to open the show. Two great performers. It was missing something. Like, it was just missing something. Like, Velveteen's such a great performer, and Bobby Fish is just reminded everybody how good a performer that he is as a singles wrestler. I mean, he's part of the tag team scene right now, but it was a good reminder that he does a good job whenever he's by himself as well. It really felt like a Velocity main event and not a proper advancement of a major title feud. It made it a little odd there. Overall, decent start. Just seemed a little off. It was I don't know how to describe it. Like something was missing. Then we had Dexter Lumis's debut, maybe? I don't know, he's been on it before, but this felt like a proper launch. And I'm like, why are we debuting someone in front of no crowd? Like, this is footage we can never, ever use again. Because are we going to show somebody coming out and nobody there to cheer him? I mean, granted, he still made an impression. He was in there with Jake Atlas. It was a decent looking match. Loomis looks brutal. His entry song's great. But I'm just questioning the in front of the empty arena. It's I know situation and everything, and I keep coming back and saying that and blah and blah and blah. But I mean, it's more of the why are we kind of forcing this? I get it's WrestleMania season, and this was the go-home show. We're not getting a proper NXT takeover. We're going to get part of it this week, and the rest of it next week. So next week could be brilliant, hopefully. It's just still weird to debut someone in an empty arena. It just felt awkward, felt poorly timed. No, we went on to the women's gauntlet match. This was close to the low point of the night for me. It was extremely, perfectly predictable. Shotzi Blackheart was one of the first two out, and she was there at the end until Dakota Kai won with a distraction. I mean, it speaks to the quality of their women's division when they can have basically, it was mostly jobbers out there, with the exception of a couple of performers, and still have I mean, it was workable. It was just predictable, and I don't know. Like Zia Lee's out there, she's an amazing performer, and so many women's matches, so many predictable finishes of late. You're better than this. You can do better. I promise. Then it was the best moment of the night for me because I'm a huge Kushida fan. He was fighting Joaquin Wilde, and it was a great technical match, back and forth. Kushida may be the best in-ring worker on NXT. Seriously, it really felt like, for those of you that are older like I am, those WCW days when you had the Cruiserweight Championships and you had like Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero and that crowd. Like, it kind of had that feel to it. They were, two guys who could just work really well technically together. But seriously, can we get Kushida a proper program? He's just kind of like Aleister Black was for a while on Raw. Like, hey guys, can we just find something for him to do? You can put him in there with almost anybody and it's going to be entertaining. I mean, there's a gif of him doing insane things into an armbar that just show the guy's super talented. Seriously, watch his New Japan stuff and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. But seriously, it was a fun match. This was, like I said, the highlight of the night. This is what wrestling can be. Even with the empty arena, two guys that can work. Speaking of random old school WCW-ness, someone got kidnapped in the parking lot. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Two guys in luchador masks came up and was just like, hey guy, get in the car. And he goes, okay. And dude just gets kidnapped in the parking lot outside the NXT arena. I mean, is Vince Russo writing this? Because this feels like some Vince Russo WCW stuff way toward the end there. I mean, it was goofy, it was silly, it was stupid. Okay, let's see where it goes. Why not? I'll give it that much. Let's see where it goes. NXT's usually pretty straight-laced and don't do stuff like this. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt once for trying to do something creative and silly. Because wrestling's supposed to be a little creative and silly. Ask Rey Mysterio when he got lawn darted into the side of a building way back in the day. But, all that kind of stuff, DX, all that, silly, it's fun. Like I said, let's see where this goes. And we had the main event. I was excited about this. It's been a feud that's been going on for a long time. Keith Lee, Damon Dijakovic, I think I said that right, and Damian Priest. It's a feud that's been going on for a while, and they kind of just added the North American title into it. It didn't need the shiny, but we added the shiny. I kind of wish instead of Kushida getting the match against Joaquin Wilde, we could have just thrown him in here. Let's add something new. Let's add another worker in. It was three great workers, and they had 12 minutes of an underwhelming match. This is supposed to be a takeover match, and takeover matches are usually like dialed up to 14. I mean, some matches go to 11. Takeover usually dials it up to 14. They get crazy. There's multiple finishers, kickouts, all this kind of stuff. It was very paint by numbers. I was entertained, but I don't think it was just still very underwhelming. It's three big guys beating the mess out of each other. It really felt like, and it goes back to old school WCW when you had the Giant and Big Boss Man and insert, I don't know, the Barbarian or the Warlord, one of those big guys from the Dungeon of Doom, and everything's stiff. These guys are much more athletic than they showed us. I mean, they worked very safe, which is weird for a takeover style match as well. It and it was good, but it was boring good, if that makes any possible bit of sense at all to you guys. But honestly, if this is our WrestleMania / TakeOver appetizer, I'm worried a bit. I really, really am. Because Keith Lee and Dijakovic at the last NXT TakeOver, that was quite possibly match of the night. It was match of the night material. It was good back and forth, hard hitting. That showed us what this could be. And then you added Damian Priest to the mix. I was excited to see this, and now I'm just a little bit nervous going forward. But everything really, the way the show's been going, seems like an afterthought to Ciampa Gargano. So let's see what they have coming forward. Next time you guys see me, I'll be reviewing SmackDown. The last SmackDown before WrestleMania. All 2 days of WrestleMania we get this weekend. Alright, anyway, if you like what we're doing, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and throw something in them comments. Let us know. Thank you guys. God bless.
We're back with WCW. Goldberg's in trouble. Ming to the throat. Back he goes to the turnbuckle. Into the gut. But Goldberg rebounds with a headbutt. Ming on the outside. Ming gets a chair. Goldberg gets a chair. This could get ugly. They're gonna eat pizza.
Little Caesars WCW meal. Get a free WCW motion card when you order 2 medium pizzas for just $9.99. Collect all 4.
Pizza.
I'll trade you these 3 for a Goldberg. Nope.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey guys, Retro Joe here with your Wednesday Night War review of AEW Dynamite. Can they do it again? Yes, they can, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you straight up, they can do it again with the empty arena. Dynamite was a good show this week. I'm not so sure about NXT, but yeah, Dynamite was pretty darn good this week. We started out with an opening promo showing the TNT TV Championship announcement with tournament brackets to crown a TNT TV champion. This is a pretty cool thing. This is like old school. They used to do TV champions. They actually have a NWA Power TV champion, which is actually Zicky Dice right now. But NWA is not actually coming back till June, so we'll have to see what happens with that. So that was the opening promo where Tony Schiavone talked about that and showed the brackets and whatnot. Then we move on to match number 1. Kenny Omega versus Trent of the Best Friends. Pretty good match. Pretty good opener. The only thing I didn't really like was Kenny Omega started doing like a Super Cena type deal, where, he just gets crazy and all the spirit finger powers come out and activate on Trent and he destroys him. But anyways, it was still a good match. Kenny Omega will take the win on this one via the one-winged angel move. Yes, one-winged angel for Kenny Omega for the win. Other things I noticed on this one, so the first week of Empty Arena, they had wrestlers as fans. Second week, they had the betting going on with MJF and, Sean Spears. This week, they had something else different. So, yeah, they could do something different every week, it seems. This time, they had the heels on one side and the baby faces on the other. That's a pretty cool idea. Because, if you throw a baby face in the wrong side of the crowd, they're going to get beat up, which Cody found out on his match later on tonight. Also, I wanted to talk about, so this Dynamite is filmed at a mystery location, so where is it? No one seems to know, but on the outside of it, you can see on the ground there was grass, so I'm assuming this might be possibly in an indoor football stadium somewhere. There was a ceiling to it, so it can't be the Jaguar Stadium, so I'm not sure where it's at, but this is a mystery. If y'all know, let me know, and maybe we'll figure this little mystery out of where they're filming. Match 2, we had Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay. Yes, another jobber, Anna Jay. This is her debut on AEW Dynamite. And yeah, I was very impressed. Anna Jay, like a lot of these jobbers are getting squashed, but this one, she actually put forth a good effort. Hikaru Shida put her over pretty good. I was very impressed by Anna Jay. Good first outing. Good first outing. Hikaru Shida will take the win via a power bomb. Match number 3. Well, saying this before we start match number 3. Jake the Snake had a promo right before this, and he was basically calling out Cody again and saying, you know, maybe you're not stupid, maybe you're smart to not take on Lance Archer right away. But yeah, it was good. Jake the Snake always does really good promos. Even in his older age, he's doing excellent heel manager promos. I'm really liking his promos. This match number 3, holy crap. Like, Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, is supposed to be like super bad dude. And he is. He is a super bad dude. So who do they debut him against on Dynamite? Freaking Marco Stunt. Oh my god, Marco freaking Stunt. Are you kidding me? You're gonna put this super bad killer guy in the ring with this little creature. And yeah. So obviously, no, he's gonna squash the crap out of him. But dude, this was like the squash of squashes. I thought he was gonna break this kid, man. Holy crap, he threw him into the crowd. He threw him all over the ring. He purposely didn't pin him just to beat him up some more. Man, it was a super squash. You know, obviously Lance will take the win via the blackout, his finisher move. Wow, super squash. Super squash of the night. Little Marco Stunt got squashed by Lance Archer. He let him get like maybe 2 moves in. The 2 moves weren't even registering on Lance. It was just like, tsh, and he was like, oh, you know, really, kid? And he just smashed him. Just smashed him. Smashed little Marco. Yeah. Then we get a promo for the Exalted One. He's having a meeting backstage, and he's talking about, you know, being in the Dark Order and what it's all about. Then you have one of the, you know, Dark Order members. He's sitting there. He starts yawning, and he gets in his face and basically kicks him out of the room. This is a super jab at all of the secret known tendencies of Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. This whole Exalted One thing is a whole jab at the McMahon. You know, his whole the way his demeanor is, what he's known to have done. If you listen to interviews and stuff, Jim Cornette has a lot of stories where it tells you a lot of these inner things. If you watch some of these older wrestling stories, you'll find out why they're making these jokes. Because, you know, the whole thing with you can't eat till I finish eating, don't yawn, don't cough in my meetings, don't sneeze, nothing like that. Yeah. So last week I thought I had to do like a joke on the virus situation, but turns out this is big whole McMahon stab, you know. Match number 4, we had 2 members of the Dark Order with no names. They just call them 8 and 9. 8 and 9, interesting. So who's 1 through 7? Don't know. One's obviously Exalted One. I don't know who the rest are. So 8 and 9 of the Dark Order versus Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, the Natural Nightmares. That's what they're calling themselves. That's a cool name. It's a cool tag team name. But Dustin Rhodes, you need a different partner because QT Marshall is not a nightmarish person. He has an apple. He is the Carlito ripoff of AEW. It was actually a really good match, though. You know, just saying that, I just don't like. I don't like the team up with QT Marshall. I don't think he fits this setting of natural nightmares. You know, a guy with a big old apple on his shirt is not a nightmare. You know, apple a day keeps the doctor away. It doesn't keep the nightmares away. So I don't know. It was a good match overall. Dustin QT will win via the flapjack finisher. Oh, after the match, Brody Lee, the Exalted One, comes out, crushes number 8 of the Dark Order with a power bomb. He is so mad that they lost, and he just crushes the crap out of them. Alrighty, moving on. Now we get a promo with Chris Jericho sitting in his little hot tub pool thing. Parts unknown, it says. And he's talking to everybody. And it's pretty funny. He's just chilling, telling everybody, yeah, you can't come back to the arenas until I say so. Which is pretty funny. A good take on the empty arena situation. Then we have Vanguard 1 come in again. Messing with Chris. Chris apologizes, or he tries to. He does the sorry. He can't say sorry because he is the GOAT and he is the leader of the Inner Circle. He does not say sorry. Anyways, he tries to offer him a another membership into the Inner Circle. And it also has like he gives them a mini Inner Circle t-shirt on a coat hanger, and he hangs it from the bottom of Vanguard 1. Vanguard 1 obviously refuses again, flies off with dogs chasing him after Chris says, "Sick 'em with sick 'em." You know, what does he say? I can't remember. What was that thing, I can't even think of, if y'all remember. Mr. Burns used to say this on The Simpsons. Oh, release the hounds, and you know, they go chasing after Vanguard 1, which he's already way up in the air flying off. It's pretty funny though, this whole thing. How can you cut a promo on an inanimate object? Chris Jericho can. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So we're moving on to match number 5. Yep, 5 matches. We have wrestling on AEW. No fans, but we have matches. Before this, we have a promo. Before match 5, we have a promo of the Young Bucks. I thought it was quite boring. It was an updated status on the Buck who got crushed in the door about a month ago on Dynamite. And he was training with his brother, saying, "Hey, you ready to get back to the ring?" All this, and he's like, "No." Now, here's the thing. I want to go back to the Chris Jericho thing before we move on to match 5. Is it really an injury, or is it storyline for real life? Because when Chris is in the hot tub, he's talking to, you know, the Buck he injured, and he's like, it's time. You know, at first he starts out saying, "I'm sitting here with a little bit of the bubbly," and then he's talking about the guy he hurt because they just had a baby. I get these two confused. I don't want to say the wrong name. I'm pretty sure it's Matt Jackson. Anyways, if it's Nick, then I'm wrong. I apologize. It's one of the two. It's hard to tell these two apart sometimes. So he's talking to him and saying, "You should probably stay home and rest with your new baby, the bubbly and the baby." Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny. I had to mention that. Anyways, match number 5, we have Shawn Spears, the chairman himself, and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Cody. This is a very interesting final match because if you remember back, Shawn Spears is the one that busted Cody over the head and caused that cut with the stitches, and that's how he's dubbed the chairman now. So this is almost like, this is the only match they've had since that, and that was like almost, oh my god, it was like 6 months ago. So they actually pulled a storyline from previous, kind of like a revenge type match. It didn't work out too well, but because Shawn Spears and Sammy took the win via a roll-up, and the only reason they got the win was because Sammy Guevara grabbed a chair from outside and started to put it in the ring, and I guess Cody got nervous because he's going to give it to Shawn, and Shawn was going to bust him open again, and he got distracted, and then Shawn rolled him up for a pin. What also I wanted to bring up about this last match was, it was a really good match. It had some really funny stuff to it. It had Sammy and Shawn were in the corner betting each other how long they could do moves. They had this one where they was like, "Can I hold them up in the air for 10 seconds?" They were throwing money. They're in the ring wrestling, okay? The partner's in the corner, and he's throwing money into the ring, and they're betting on their own match while they're doing the match. It's pretty freaking hilarious. I mean, I would downright say greatness. Great idea. It's funny. I like it. Then we also had Darby Allin climbing up this pole. Now this is where the mystery of where these are filmed. The pole was black, but when you got to the very top, you could see a glimmer of yellow. It almost looked like a field goal post. So we're thinking football field. We're thinking this is a football field somewhere in parts unknown. But anyways, he climbs up this pole. I mean, he shimmies up it. There's no things to grab on. He literally shimmies up this really thick pole, and Coffin drops off the top of it into the two guys. It's pretty great. I mean, it was a good match. I liked it. It was very, very entertaining for me. Overall, this Dynamite was actually a really decent Dynamite. I'm surprised because Raw and SmackDown has been hurting. Their shows have not been good. NXT had some not good shows. They showed one that was just all like promos. There was no matches in the whole thing like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, good job AEW. Another week, another one in the can. We're getting closer to, you know, all this being over with, hopefully soon enough. I hope you enjoyed my review of Dynamite for this last Wednesday. And y'all stay safe out there, and remember to keep it retro.